thing. Let me show you my first favorite.
And we're live.
Really? You chose that?
Of course. Why would you choose any other moment? You're just well done.
I wonder if I can get it to spin up there.
Oh my god.
Was that the intention?
Don't let me look at the picture, please.
Wait.
I
know of a better picture
Oh
than
shit, we're seriously live. Fuck.
Oh
Yeah.
Shogun,
I thought that
Shogun
was
does
a
this all the time.
No, that wasn't a joke.
Shogun does this to me all the time, so I'm used to it.
You delightful.
I've had a harder time doing it to this game because we usually start like 50 minutes late, but we're pretty much on time.
I'd say we're on brand as well.
Oh.
Is that a Buzz Lightyear toy?
Fuck.
The
That's a Buzz
heck?
Lightyear toy.
Hey. Big news, everybody. Strider Winters has given everybody a crit.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
my God.
you,
This is gonna
sir
be great.
and or madam, are a delight.
So that's a great way to start off. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the party. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons this evening, specifically 3.5 edition, and this is our finale. This is the last session of Tales from Kingdom of Five. So that's happening. I am your dungeon master for the evening. The Bardic Knock. You can find me all over the internet: Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube. On that, the Bardic Knock. Hey, let me tell you quickly about Welcome to Party as fast as I can. Welcome to Party is an all-inclusive tabletop role-playing gaming space. Go check it out. Discord link is down below. You can find them on Twitter at Welcome Party RPG. Here on Twitter, twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG. We have podcasts which are on Podbean, Google Play, and iTunes, all under Welcome Party RPG. And Patreon, which is patreon.com/Welcome Party RPG. You can also find everything that gets played here over on the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Welcome to the Party. Go check all of those out. Huge thank you to our sponsors, which are Tabletop Loot, Devon Rue, the mistress of maps. You can find her at ruinc.com, and so Nerdware. And if you use the the discount code WELCOME, you get 10% off from So Nerdware. So thank you to our wonderful sponsors. I said all the things. Same thing as usual. Subscribe here on Twitch. You get to give advantage to any player GM of the entire channel. So do that and donate bits, as the wonderful Strider Winters just did. 1,000 bits, big thing happens, and 500 bits, small thing, usually mechanical. So do that. And everybody already just got given, crits to start. So everyone's got a crit before we even get started into this final encounter.
Question, Bardic.
Yo.
How many bits do I have to donate to make a significant change in this story at the very last episode?
That would be 1,000.
Oh, God.
Is everyone just... Are you all just going to pay to win?
No!
Alright,
Let's go
episode's
to
over,
that
guys.
point.
I
Have we
want to
been
make
playing
it
the game?
harder.
Let's say if we got into that point in the game where we're like, I've been playing this game a while, but I think I'm just going to slap down cash and win.
Well, let's be real, Matt. What's more powerful than the god of magic?
The god of
Money.
Capitalism.
Capitalism.
Capitalism, yes. It's
Okay.
either I'm rubbing my hands for money or I'm playing two very small violins.
In Bardic's case, it's both.
You look
No,
like
he's
a little
just a
angry
crab.
with a cigarette. It's just, oh yeah.
I was thinking one of those monkeys with the symbols,
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that
like a
gives me
visual
an idea
representation of
though.
everyone in this group, honestly.
That's our Voltron.
We'll destroy him with the power of music and friendship, you guys.
Go, Megazord, go! Oh.
Okay, so, players, you should quickly introduce yourselves and we can jump into this final amazing epic showdown. Hey, Rebecca, who are you?
I'm Rebecca. We're playing Utswa, the Dwarven Warlock, I'm not prepared for today, mentally or emotionally.
Financially.
I'm okay there.
Capital.
No, you may have to make a sudden change to stop like a power word kill from actually.
Cody, who are you?
Hello, my name is Cody. I play Kid the Dark Horse, an Eldritch Knight, who at this moment is hopefully the last time he has to be a tactician for this group, because it is stressful.
You say hopefully, but that also could mean that you're all gonna die. So
Oh, no.
It,
I mean,
it
either
will be the
way.
last, one way or another.
Mm-hmm. And I can fuck off to my castle and live there for the rest of my days.
okay, TJ, who are you?
I'm TJ, and I'll be playing Flick, the halfling rogue / assassin, and I, for one, welcome our new lesbian overlords. Because if I had to call one thing before this game, it's that the only way Matt would kill us is if his hand was forced by someone else. So now there's some real tensity. Density. I'm flat earther now. We're going down.
Oh God.
Just to
I
briefly
missed the
inside of my mind works. It's not a fun place to get things done. And
I miss
on to
all of the flat earther memes.
Yeah.
Shan, who are you?
Hey everybody, I'm Shannon. Shanalogic across all the internet, Twitter's, every platform. And I'm playing Greg, the half-orc gunslinger, who is, if you could not tell by my luxurious backdrop of a wrinkled pride flag, very, very gay, as all my characters are. Will she get a happy ending? Probably not.
Don't say that.
You're contemplating donating money just to guarantee that.
Well, I'm certainly
wanna make
not
things
making an
work.
alternate Twitch account right now.
who would do such a thing?
Shogun, that is probably a perfect way to introduce yourself. Who are you?
I am Shogun, and I'm playing as Natalie, the death cleric who just wants to spend the rest of eternity with the one that she loves
Aw.
Through murder.
through murder.
I mean, if you look at it just at face value, that's very sweet.
Sure, let's go with that. Okay, so as you can see,
So is antifreeze.
We're all racing for a joke there. My mind went political immediately, so I shut up.
as you can see on the map, you're there. You aren't in the correct positions because I have no idea where you all want to position yourselves. So go ahead and move yourselves all around to where you are supposed to be.
I would say
Where's the
middle
doormat?
upper class, not like anything crazy, but like a 4-bedroom in the suburbs, maybe 2-car garage. I don't think that's,
Wow,
insane.
2-car, huh?
Yeah, reaching for the stars.
So did we enter from the north, or?
Yes, you came in through this area up here.
Oh, okay. So spice.
So, hang on.
All right.
over here. I am. Where is Oh, he's there. Got it. So I unfortunately am right here.
Yes, from memory, Flick, you are down in front of Zagathrax because you slid down his anti-life field. Angus is up here, who just hurled something. I believe Kid is also stood somewhere nearby to the man
I
who
intend
was
to
once
use
Cradle.
Fighters Reach, so
Yeah.
myself right there.
Valko is just chilling back there. I think that's where everybody is.
DM.
Yo.
We have received 1,000 bits from a person I've never heard of. This Shanalogic.
Yeah, is that whoever you are, Shanalogic, thank you so much for the bits. 1,000 bits is a large change. I'm looking at the chat. If you want to suggest something right there in the chat, I'll say that sounds amazing. Let's do that. So,
Okay.
thank you very much, anonymous tipster. I'm very excited to see what you have in store for us. Is there anybody who does not have their initiative added?
I
Did
did
you-
not before. Is Spice going to
Most
have
of us.
her own?
That is entirely your call. Do you want Spice to move independently, or do you want Spice to just share yours for ease?
Spice can share mine.
Oh
Actually,
man, I have a +4.
Can it go the other way around?
Yeah, our initiatives are in, Matt. They just aren't on the turn order thing.
Okay, that's strange.
Yeah. Should we roll initiative again, or?
Yeah, roll it again. Let it pop up and just slap in
All right.
the.
Well, good, because last time mine was shit. So
Yay.
let's see. Wait, what is it?
And
Oh, come on, really?
Better than last time.
Oh, but anyway, it looks like this mysterious Logic has requested an extra wish on her Lux sword that she has acquired from the dragons. Is that
Oh,
possible? Can we do
yeah,
that?
wow. See, I don't even remember us mentioning that in the session last time that you had a special Lux sword. But whoever this is, they must like be really into this series.
They're probably super meta. Like my biggest fan, most likely.
Yeah. I mean,
Next to
the-
Rebecca. Rebecca's my biggest fan.
It's kind of true.
Yeah, Shan. Thank you to this anonymous tipster. I'll explain some stuff in game, but yes, your luck blade will have an additional wish. So let me just slap in the initiatives for these two losers who you are fighting, and Zargafrax. He did not roll particularly great. So let me just descending.
I love how his name is in all capitals because he's very important.
Yeah.
You don't spell your own name in all capitals?
I do, but usually I just yell.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how else are you gonna just shout it at people?
Okay. So, where we finished off last time, the man formerly known as Krail, having been ripped in two, seemed to grow a giant tail out of his torso, growing quite large and sprouting 4 additional arms and started to swing wildly. And Angus hurled the hammer of glory all the way across the field. So it was right next to you, Flick, to shatter the anti-life shell field, whatever it is, the spell that means no living creature can get near him. So that's gone. So that's where we are. And according to my initiative reader here, Kid is the first person. So,
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Kid is going to go ahead and take a 5-foot step back. He'll leave Sugar where Sugar is,
mhm.
since Sugar can attack independently for 3 more turns.
Your magical flying chain, yeah.
And I'm actually going to delay my action until I see where everybody is going to put themselves. So
Okay.
I'm preparing to cast a spell.
Okay. Final battle, all of that. Are you shouting out commands or things to your friends, or is it hyper focus mode?
Basically, at this point, Kid's going to step back, and he is going to look over at Zargafrax, and he's going to say, "Close if you can," while directing his focus at Krill.
Okay. So that would bring us down to Utswa, who is moving next. Utswa, what happened last time? Remember how you created your little wall of flame surrounding the 16 people around? That wall of flame went down, but you see that these people, they are out of the fight. Their magical energy is being drained in towards Zargafrax. They are useless currently.
Okay.
You got this, babe.
Zargathrax is on an elevated platform, right?
Yeah, it's not that elevated. It's, like 2 or 3 steps.
Oh, well.
It's enough that he can look down on everybody, but it's not like, oh, he's like, no. But he's same level, but couple of steps.
And we've determined that the shield blocks physical attacks.
The shield is
Angus shattered the shield by
Oh,
hurling
look at
his
that.
hammer at it.
Nice. Okay.
Metal as fuck.
We're
Yep,
just
yep.
gonna go. I think that's no. Where's the thingy?
Careful, Krail's got to reach at 10 feet.
Yeah, Krail is big boy.
No, not
That's
the big
outside
boy.
the 10, right? Or where am I? So that should be outside the 10?
Yeah, easily.
Just right there. Okay. Don't want to hit anybody. So we're going to do. I didn't have a chance to plan. Okay, hang on. Sorry.
You got this.
You're right. It was only a week.
I mean, right
We've
now,
been busy.
very busy. Okay, you know what?
True.
Fucking just Eldritch Blast for right now. Just do regular
Alright.
old thing.
Yeah.
Towards
Pew, pew,
Zargo.
pew.
Yeah, towards Zargo.
Pew pew pew.
Sargo sounds like a indie band.
Ooh, good hit.
Yay.
Nice. Okay. So, obviously, we've described this. It's black, sparkly fire that you fire from your fingers. Is it worth shouting anything, screaming anything, or just deadly, deadly, serious focus?
Focused.
Okay, so that's 21. Huh?
2d6.
Yes, he needs to make his reflex save, doesn't he?
Oh, no. 2d6 for
No,
the
he needs
extra,
to fail his
extra
reflex
black
save.
flame damage.
Right.
Yes. You see that the flames they just surround him. You know, his body is just any other normal person, enemy you've come across, you would be like, oh hey, they're on fire now. It almost seems as if whilst the fire is surrounding him, well, every moment that his flesh burns, like you can see it. You can see like just this magical ether of his flesh burning off and then replacing itself. It's pretty fucking gross, if I'm honest. And kind of metal.
So Uso would see that in her mindset. The more you do it, the less he'll be able to do it later on. That's what she's thinking.
That's a very sound logic you've got there. I like it.
Anime logic, man.
Yeah. You can only do it for so long.
It's Kawaii Desu, whatever anime. I don't know anime, so sorry.
Pretty spot on.
Okay, the man formerly known as Krail, he's looking around. He's got Greg in front of him. He's got Natalie over there. He's kind of just... You know what? He is going to... Yeah, he's just going to slither himself back a little bit. He will take your attacks of opportunity if you want them.
Oh,
He-
definitely.
Sugar's
doesn't
making
care.
one.
Yeah.
Let's
So he's
see
just gonna-
here.
He's going to sliver himself back to there. Crit from Sugar. Nice.
It's gonna take Peaches right to the fucking face. Peaches.
Yep, 21 will hit. The crit hits.
Sugar?
Millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
I actually, Peaches is just like a bag of peaches that I bash people. Not actually a gun.
That's your big change to the game.
No. Big change is gonna be heartbreaking. You're gonna love it.
No, No, not my heart. No.
Retroactively, every gun I've ever used has actually been a bag of peaches.
No. Good, but not quite.
Is Matt frozen, or did you just break him in that?
No, it looks like he's frozen. Hang on.
Oh shit.
There's no cars going behind him to tell.
Very pensive stares got going on.
We can
That's-
hear you.
You can hear me. Wonderful.
We can hear you.
You're just frozen in the most awkward face possible.
Yeah.
You look slightly constipated, or like.
Oh, there he goes.
There you are.
There we
That's
are.
good.
That's the other camera. I mean, I don't know why it decided to do that.
It looked like someone told him they just kicked his dog, and he was trying to figure out which one.
That looks like constipation for you.
Well, he had the sparkles in his eyes. It was like kind of a little bit anime there too.
I should really stop licking the dogs and getting, nah, never mind. No, pull up,
then-
pull up.
Where's this going?
Just going to fur balls and constipations for being too close to the dogs, and then I was gonna link it back to Matt, but
If
you know
have
that
to
scene in
explain
Aladdin,
the joke. It's not a good joke.
right? You know that scene in Aladdin where he jumps across the little bubbles of rock that are on top of the lava? Is the part where he
Yeah.
falls in, and the Disney movie ends 10 minutes in.
That would be a better Disney movie.
Probably.
Giving up on the good camera. It's freaking out at me. Like,
He's
nope.
very quiet now.
Is it?
I can.
We can't do something about
No,
that.
I cannot. I have him maxed out.
Oh,
I-
say.
How about now?
Take it back. It's all you.
A little bit better.
actor
Keep going.
voice, Matt.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Meanwhile, Natalie, are you taking an attack opportunity on
I am
this? You're not. Okay, cool. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Do. Trying to quickly fix things. Better? Worse? Yay? Nay?
Is that,
Sounds fine to me.
sounds good enough over here, I think.
Ooh. Okay, so Sugar, the animated spike chain, gets a crit. Cody, how does that work? What happens?
Basically, what Sugar is going to be doing is, as soon as this person moves back, like with the little spider legs that it's got, Sugar's going straight for one of the legs to rake it as much as it possibly can to possibly sever its tendon.
Okay. I mean, it's a tail. It's not spider legs.
Ah, well then in that
It's
case,
like a serpentine long tail.
yes, the horse head of the chain, which is one of Kid's favorite things about it, has its red eyes just sparkle as it moves forward to just impale. And you can just hear Sugar in the background basically squealing something high-pitched in Bat,
Mm-hmm.
because that is his first language.
I should be somewhere eating a pear.
Okay, and Greg, you just bang.
Yeah, I aim specifically for the dick though, just to be sure.
I mean,
How many
Isn't
do you have now?
Because he's like
his-
regenerated, so like she wants to be sure that it's
well,
a permanent
his
fix.
lower torso, like his legs, are still on the floor, separated to him. So if you want to try and find where the dick is on a snake tail, I do not know enough about.
It's towards the
serpentine
end. It's
life.
towards the end. I know this, and don't ask me why.
which?
I guess no, it's just gonna be like because I imagine he just like has sort of that mermaid like his hips go into a V and then there's a snake tail. I'm imagining she's aiming just for there because that's all she knows biologically.
Surprisingly, Greg knows very little about the male anatomy.
So
Very
surprising.
surprising.
I thought she'd know all about.
Wait, it doesn't have teeth?
So it's not literally a one-eyed monster. Duly noted.
Let's move on.
This
Okay.
is us. This is our brand. We're on brand to the very end.
We are. So what Krail was actually doing, slithering back, takes these shots, seems they hurt. Of course they hurt, but for the most part seems somewhat unfazed by it. When he gets back, all 6 of his arms, they kind of curl in and jut the weapons out in a very defensive stance. He is basically acting as a not human shield. So there's that. And Greg, it's your move.
Awesome. I'm gonna pull out the sword and make my first wish.
Okay.
Greg's gonna just mumble like, I wish that every bit of damage that Utswa takes goes directly to me instead.
Okay. We never discussed this because this was like an off-screen thing. Your luck sword, which you were given by the dragons. What do you think this looks like? Describe it. Like, how badass and cool does this thing look to you?
Well, to me, the hilt looks like an unwinding wyvern, and the sort of like guard of the sword is the wings of the dragon, and it looks like it's spitting out the blade. And it's
Cool.
just a hilt made out of platinum, and it looks very boss, and it gleams very gaily. Just saying.
So
It's got that iridescent rainbow sheen to
when
it.
you does it have a sheath? So like when you unsheath it, you know how you sometimes get like that refraction of light on surfaces, and it creates a beautiful prism.
Yeah.
That its prisms at. But so it's like that, but all down the blade. So you just got a rainbow all up the blade.
Yep.
Oh my god, where was
Okay.
this?
So as you do that, do you whisper to it softly? Do you or are you like
Yeah.
shouting and announcing this shit?
No, I'm making it very quiet because I don't want Utswa to hear it.
Okay. At that moment, something only you can see, because you are the only person aware of this magical effect. You see an ethereal platinum chain sprout forward from the sword. It wraps around your arm, and it connects you to Utswa.
All right. Then with my other hand, I'm going to pull out Peaches and I'm going to take a shot. Well, first I'm going to move a little bit. I'm going to move so that I can get like past Krail. So I think like around here. And I can aim my holy water shots at Zargafrax. So
Okay,
let's
go
try
for it.
and... Because I only have like so many holy water shots. And I think I used up like, 10 shooting him before?
You're fine.
Yeah, I should still have a couple left.
Yeah.
Did it go? Because that did not load for me at all.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
It's because you attacked before. So like, oh, 23. So 23 for 8 damage. Yeah. Just like before. At first, it seems like not much is happening. As you see the bullet essentially pass through this non-living, non-flesh creature. But as the bullet explodes, you see a patch of the holy water, and you can see, like, where are you aiming? Face, chest, legs, dick? Where are you
After
shooting?
seeing what happened the last time I shot him with the with my pepper rifle, I think I'm gonna aim specifically for the face if possible. Like damage the brain
So you
if I
kind of
can.
shoot, let's say forehead, because it's a fun little description. It goes through his forehead. You see his neck rear back, and as he sits back up, because he's still sat on his throne, because he's that much of a douche. And the whole heals up, but you see there's like a black mark on his forehead where the bullet went through, which is not healing properly.
Nice. And
Nice indeed.
I think that's how I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay. Okay, well, there's a second Utswa. That shouldn't be there, so get rid of you. And get rid of the second Greg. Flick.
I got nothing.
What do?
I'm still slowly sliding down this thing. No.
Shattered. Like,
yeah.
so what you were sliding down.
But that's not as funny, Matthew. So,
Fine, everything but the bit you are on shatters.
yeah, perfect. Honesty check. Did I say last time that I was switching my target to Krail at the end, or did I just think that? Does anybody remember me saying that?
I don't remember you saying it.
I don't
but
recall
believe
saying it
you
either.
said so.
Okay. So I often get those things where I'm thinking of it, I'm waiting for a spot to interject, and then I forget about it completely. So it's one of those. Okay, so I am right next to Captain Z here, right? Am I right behind? Oh no, yeah, okay. And
You're just in front of him.
yeah, I'm just in front of him. And is he paying any attention to me?
He has acknowledged your existence with a condescending sneer.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's about it.
All right. Well, it's almost like I had a week to plan too and did nothing. Hmm.
What's a plan?
I did up my hypocrite level. Okay, so and sorry, Krail is this giant red circled thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's this dude?
Yeah, that's not Kid. No. Okay. All right, just checking.
Kids up there.
And
I feel insulted.
You think I'm a giant red circle?
Oh, look, that
Okay.
guy's a mess of veins. It's gross.
Can I, when picking myself up off the floor, can I feign being way more injured than I am?
100%. How do you want to do that? Are you bluffing? Are you acting? What?
Bluffing, I think. If I'm given the choice, I would
You can do
definitely.
anything you want. If you want to try and justify your sleight of handing it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a bluff.
Oh man! Ah, son of a. Wait, which one is you?
I look at him and just studying him the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to reach into my bag and quick draw a. No, actually, screw that. Okay, if I'm going all the way, I'm going to pull a dagger out, and I'm gonna like pretend I'm like aiming at him, and then I'm gonna whip it into Krail's back.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Sneak attack.
yeah, okay. Sneak throw. And he's not flat-footed at the moment, is he?
No, but
No.
you are behind him. He is paying zero attention to you.
Yeah. Hitting an AC 37.
You know
Yes.
what? I think that's a hit. All right, yeah. You just and it just where you trying to get him like in like his spine? Are you getting him like right in between? It goes from like
Yeah,
humanoid
like
torso to snake
he
torso.
just turned into giant super muscly boy, right?
Well, yeah, it's like his upper body half is like that, but his
Yeah.
lower body is
Yeah, and lower body is a snake. But
and he's got 6 arms.
I'm like pretending to aim it at Zargathrax and then accidentally throwing it and pretending I'm missing Zargathrax and hitting him, that I'm that messed up, if I can pull that off. And I'm aiming it right at that spot in between the shoulder blades that big bodybuilders can't reach with their hands.
I mean, he has 6 hands.
Well, I'm still trying.
It's a good sound logic. I like it. So yeah, you crack him right between the shoulder blades. He's going.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, does it look like the hammer is like starting to fly back to Angus?
No, the hammer is just innate on the floor. If anything, it looks really mundane.
Okay.
It's somewhat reminiscent to when you found it in the mountains. Out of the hands of one worthy to wield it, it is kind of useless.
Okay. could I possibly use my second attack to whip the troll gut rope at it and try and send it skittering back in Angus's direction?
I think you can.
All right.
Do you want to roll me a use rope for that, just for ease?
Sure. Yeah, I will do that. Use rope. The very last skill on the skill list. Oh no!
Okay.
That's a 1.
Nat one. What is the funniest thing we can do?
Oh, you accidentally untie the knot at the end of the rope.
Oh.
Okay, what I'm thinking is you go to do it. You go, ha! You throw it. There's a little lasso. It lands next to the hammer. And then it, because you're so convinced, I've got this. Huh, huh. And you start to throw you tell it to throw the hammer back to Angus. The troll rock go is. I can't say the troll gut rope.
Yep.
Actually, well, it's quite strong. You've been using it to Spider-Man and swing around.
Yep.
As it limply touches the hammer and then starts moving towards Angus, it starts pulling you along with it. You are essentially throwing yourself towards Angus. So consider yourself flat-footed.
Okay.
As you get pulled over.
Roll through the air.
Not even through the air. You're just like being dragged along the floor. Like hops around one of your ankles, trips you up, and starts dragging you over to Angus.
I had a dog that did that once. Probably what I get for licking it.
So just move yourself like 15 foot towards Angus.
Okay.
That's one way to disengage, I guess.
Alrighty. Ooh. Me. Zargafrax sits upon his throne, covered in black fire, bullet wounds, and one that isn't healing properly as it should be. His hands grip further into, like, he was already doing this, but I'm just reiterating because I think it's a really cool image. His hands grip into the armrest of this solid stone throne. They crack and shatter. Like, the entire throne just splits in two as he stands up. The entire room is filled with a powerful, potent energy. I have a new toy. As this deep red mist just fills everybody's minds as Zargafrax stands slowly. You truly are the most tenacious little flies. He takes a deep breath and brings his hands up to his chest, and he physically pulls the magical black fire, which Utswa threw at him. You see it remove itself from his clothing, from his skin, and he holds it as somebody would hold, a ball, a plaything. He slowly stretches out his hand towards the room and lets go. As this small black fire hovers for a moment before shrinking in and then bursting, filling.
Kid casts his spell.
No.
All of ice hemisphere all around Zargafrax.
Okay. Do you want to roll for the spell, please?
If I had the macro for it, I would, but let me tell you what you got. Basically, it's a hemisphere of ice, radius. This is a weird notion, but at 12 feet. Around him, what ends up happening is the ice just forms. It's an illusion, but the cool thing about the evocation illusions is that it only has to be real enough. Its hit points have just decreased. So it can probably only take this shot, but it can take this shot.
Okay, yeah, nice. So as this ball of black fire erupts, you see this hemisphere of ice surround.
As Kid just claps his hands over the top just to make this thing work.
And
Hey,
almost
Macarena.
almost immediately, this hemisphere just explodes outward. You know, you see it just shattering. You can see the black fire just melting it apart. And Zargafrax he shoots Kid the biggest. Fuck you. Glad.
Question.
Yes.
Since that was technically still her Eldritch Blast, would she have any control over it or no? Because it's his now.
Well, what he was doing, that was him showing his dominance over the power of magic. He was taking your spell
Right.
and making it his. You can just hit him again.
Does he get hit again by the force of his own spell exploding on him?
I mean,
It's just a dispel.
he technically should, like, but I'm cheating, so no.
That's fine. I stopped us from taking a pretty huge amount of damage.
I thought there would be no cheating in this battle. I thought we would all die.
So, that's Zargafrax's round. Natalie.
Spice, bring me the guards. And Spice is going to... how does dash work in 3.5? Is it pretty much the same thing as 5th?
Charge?
Well, yeah, you can use a full round to move up to double your movement speed.
Yeah. So Spice wants to collect up, is going to use that dash to collect up as many of the guards as possible and pile them in front of Natalie.
Yeah. What's Spice's movement speed?
40.
Okay, so for 80 feet, you know, because there's a bunch down this side, there's...
Could they just bring me, like, half? Because we'll just let one side go and only grab me all the ones on this side.
Yeah.
How many would that be?
Very... Well, you'd grab half of them, so you'd get 8 all in all, because there's... No, wait, you get more than 8. I don't know, how to math. Yeah, there's 4 there, and 4 there. So, yes, you would get 8.
Okay.
So you could easily just
Are they
grab
still
them.
alive? Because I know
They
they're,
appear
like,
to be.
catatonic on the floor. But they're still alive.
I mean, how is Spice grabbing them?
Just, like, pick
You
them up.
just-
I mean, not gently, but...
I mean, if you want, Spice can kill them.
Yes.
As doing that.
Yes.
Just dead. So as you do that, you see these ethereal strains of mana. You see the arcane weave just snip and break from Zargafrax on these, and hey, you have 8 corpses.
Cool. Because I was reading the exact rules of Animate Dead, and there's no limit to how many I can raise at once, just how many I can have. Well, anyway, at least these are way less than my limit. As long as I can touch them all in one turn, I can raise them all. So I'm going to cast Animate Dead on all 8 of these corpses, and if possible, the bottom half of Krail. The legs that were left behind.
Okay, yeah. So you animate these 8.5 corpses.
What are their original hit dice numbers?
I didn't stat them.
Yeah, they weren't really meant for much else.
Okay, they were relatively capable, so I'm gonna say, you know, maybe 6 hit die each.
6 hit die each. Okay, so each of them, their hit die is changed to d12s. And
They fly.
No, they don't fly. But I'm able to raise
can if you
all
throw
of them to now be, you said 4 hit dice?
6.
6 hit 6 for each one, so I will just take the average for them.
Yeah, so that's 6 by 12. Well, 6 by 6, which is 36.
Yeah,
we've
so
all got
I have
36 hit
8
points.
36 hit point zombies, and whatever Krail's legs are.
Well, okay. Let's
If I
assume-
can, you can totally say I can't. That's fair.
No, I want you to have Krail's legs. Krail was a 15 hit die character. He was capable, but you just destroyed him. So let's be fair and assume his legs have just less than half of his hit die. So his legs have 7 hit die. So
So his legs are a 42 hit point zombie.
They're gonna start kicking him to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch! You never took me for walks.
okay, you have okay. It's a lot of effort, and it'll just clutter the screen to put all these tokens around for you. Like, I'm assuming they're just surrounding.
Yeah. We're just gonna have a mass of zombies, and I just want to send them all at Krail.
Okay, so zombies have got like a natural slam attack, haven't they?
They have a yeah. They have a natural attack where they
It'd be
just
1d4
sort of
if it's a medium-sized creature.
punch.
Yeah. Okay, so
No, it's a base of. Oh no, yeah, you're right. It is 1d4 because they don't have any. Oh, do they have weapons? They still have their weapons, right?
they were equipped with firearms.
Firearms. Can they use those as clubs?
Yes.
So 1d6 then.
There we go. Well, these are pretty hefty firearms. You know, like big rifle, musket. So
Sweet.
1d8.
Awesome.
So, for ease here, either. Okay, Krail's legs. All they can do is kick. Sorry. Unless you're gonna like super glue a sword
nope.
to him. So.
I mean,
Either
gauntlet
you
kicks
can-
aren't exactly fun.
Super sharp dick day.
So either you can roll a d20 for each of these, or we can just roll one, and then if it works, roll damage for all of them. What do you?
Can we count them as, because there's such a mass of them, can we just count them as a spell and make it a reflex save?
Make it a swarm.
Yeah, basically make it a swarm thing.
I was
and-
gonna say yes, we can just make it a swarm. So all they have to do is they just need to get into his area, and then it'll count.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll just move a swarm on him.
Pull all of their hit points together. We'll make this one creature.
Okay.
So 36 times 8 plus 42 is a number.
330.
Yeah, you have a swarm with that many hit points. We'll give them an average damage. So what it was going to be 8d8 plus 1d4. So you know what? We'll just trim that down, and we'll just get the average, which will be, let's call it 5d6.
Yep.
Yeah, just do that. 5d6 damage as they just start swarming and beating on Krail,
Wonderful.
and don't even need to roll to attack because they're a swarm.
Matt, where does Angus move in this initiative order?
Angus will move at the very end because he has no
Okay.
idea what to do.
Cool.
Yeah, so a bunch of zombies just pile on around and start hitting with their metal guns and kicking him in the shin. Or snake shin.
All of them collectively kicking him in exactly one shin.
I don't know
The
if
shinning.
I don't know if it's ironic or poetic justice. Or it's ridiculous that this man is being beaten to death by his own legs. Snake man is being kicked to death by his old legs.
If there was ever a thing that was more our game, yeah, that's it to a T.
Also, I have donated 1,000 bits.
I can.
Oh God.
Shogun.
Oh no, Shogun, please have mercy.
Shogun, what would you like to accomplish with this 1,000 bits?
I would like the castle to start plummeting to the ground through whatever means you feel is appropriate.
We've done so much damage to it already.
You know the best part is, I actually already had plans for this.
Yeah, because I was supposed to kill everybody and drop it.
So, awesome. You just got to make it happen faster than I had planned for. Even
Perfect.
better. Angus. Angus is there, going like, well, I just threw my hammer. Should I go get my hammer or what?
Angus, for the love of God, think for yourself.
I have slowly lost much of my character development, apparently. You're a much more colorful cast of people than I am.
Your character development is hammer.
Oh, hammer.
Your name is Hammer. Your job is Hammer. Your objective is Hammer.
Everything's allowed to look like a nail to you.
I'll go get the hammer. So Angus, he just goes, okay. And he's gonna start bucking it. He runs. Unfortunately, running in a straight line, he is gonna get attack opportunity by Krail.
He's got good
That's
armor, he
okay.
can handle it.
So Angus is gonna take a nice little bit of damage. So,
Thanks, thanks, Cody.
He stands in front of
That's
Zargoprax and just bends down and picks up his hammer and goes, "Oh, there. I feel much better now. I've got the hammer. Oh, you! I'm gonna break your fucking face, you piece of
God,
shit."
he's the most Scottish person in existence.
I actually had one last thing I wanted to check on my turn, which was
please.
I was seeing that Zargoprax is being sort of charged by these people he's killing, absorbing their life. My question was, could I sort of tap into, since I'm now controlling the things that were once sort of his batteries, can I sort of tap into this stream that he's using and maybe mess with it in a way?
Well, you killed these ones.
Yes, I did.
So, these ones, no. If you wanted to go and fiddle with the other ones, you could maybe do something about it.
Okay, I will have just...
But that'll be a next turn
Can I have
scenario.
spent my move just to run away? Because I hadn't moved
you
at all.
can just-
Yeah, so I'm going to
Yeah, you can just
be over
go
there
over.
near the dead.
And you're gonna
Next
start-
turn, all that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
start fiddling around with stuff. Okay. Kid. It's your move.
Let's see. So I spent my turn delaying to make sure I got that attack or that spell. So now that I have it, and I see that Angus is in the appropriate location, it's time to start doing wizard things, and that means buffing the hell out of myself. So first step of the process, I'm gonna make myself a little bit harder to hit.
Always useful.
So I'm gonna go mirror image, and that's going to be a grand total of how many shadow kids? Additionally 4 kids.
Okay. Can you copy yourself, or do you
I
need
can
me
do it.
to- Yeah, just make 4 more. of
Whoa,
you,
here he comes.
okay?
Boys are back in town.
And I can adjust myself around so that no one can see which kid is the real kid. I know which one it is, though.
That's
you can
good.
see your hit points, so.
Yes.
We know
I
as the
can't.
players, but you know, the people
I don't see his hit points.
I lost track
Okay.
already.
The mystery is complete for me.
Yeah, the illusion is real.
And once the spell is cast, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to waste Krail's attacks of opportunity. I'm going to run in a straight line straight down. Well, mostly straight. I should end up about right there or so, with at least 3 of the kids getting within his attack of opportunity range.
Alrighty. 1 second. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. So, attacks. He swings. What's the AC of a shadow kid?
I believe it was in here. The AC currently is 13.
Okay, yeah. Well, that misses because I rolled a 2. Second one hits. Third one hits. So he takes out 2 of them, and one of them is like, "Ha not today, Satan."
All right, well, still got 3, so that's good.
Mm.
I'll move myself a bit closer.
Yeah. Are you giving more roleplay command? Do you have more words of wisdom?
At this point, Kid has basically said, "Get yourself strong." He's not going to go down. He's not going to go down just by hitting him over and over again. Except for Angus, you keep hitting him over and over again.
Angus does that. He just looks over his shoulder, thumbs up. Okay, Uswa.
Quick question. Can Eldritch Blast be curved around things like Kid's body?
No.
Damn it.
It is
You,
a
however,
straight line.
Have Eldritch Chain.
I do.
So,
Multiple.
well, Eldritch Train, yes, you could slap Krail and then it bounce over and hit Zalgafrax as well.
Okay. What's up with the Nassau's in range? Is it range?
60 feet.
No, is Zarga Krail, former Krail's range to have 10 feet?
Yep. I believe it's
Yeah.
actually 30 feet is the range for your chaining.
Yeah, you should easily be in range. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And he can't hit you if you're there.
Yeah. Okay. Then I guess we'll Eldritch Chain.
Okay.
Worlds. Yeah.
We have never seen Eldritch Chain before. How do you like to imagine this?
we
In
have.
lots of the books,
We've
it
seen it
kind of
once.
like does like a lightning attack. Oh, we have seen it? Yeah, we have. Ignore
Yeah.
me. Well, we haven't seen it with new ghost dragon powers.
That's true.
So how do you want to describe what this looks like?
Actual fucking dragon. Bounce.
So it creates like a little black dragon that goes.
Exactly. Like that. Okay.
Does it make a better sound effect, or is it that one?
What's that?
I can dig it.
Yep.
Okay. Roll for it, please.
Oh, good. Okay.
19. Good damage. Good.
Then I roll again, right?
Do you roll again, or is it just the same one?
You do have to roll it again.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get a separate attack roll for each one.
Damn it.
Oof. Yeah. The second one is not going to hit Zargafrax.
That poop.
But you get the additional 2d6 on Krail.
Oh. Nope, nope.
Minus
Get him out of the way now. Just do it now.
When it rains, of course.
All the better rolls. Get him out now.
But Krail failed his reflex save, so Krail is on fire forever now.
That's some fun.
So you did good. You did good stuff.
It's like one flaming corpse at the bottom of the corpse pile.
At the bottom of the corpse pile.
Yeah,
That sounds like a metal band.
it probably is.
I feel like periodically, because this was a chain, the fire occasionally bursts. Little dragons go in the fire occasionally.
I like it.
Cool,
So,
cool.
this time, instead of it just like is the fire itself now small dragons that are kind of just crawling all over his skin.
Yeah, yeah.
Top tier Dungeons and Dragons right there. Krail is there. Oh, it's Krail's turn, and he's surrounded by people. What he's gonna do is if he just makes a little 5-foot adjust there. No. There's no way for him to be able to hit Flick, Kid, and Angus in the same way as that. Okay.
For all intents and purposes, he's got 2 targets he can hit right now.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, the swarm's on top of him right now as well.
Oh
Mhm.
god. Yeah, he's been
And I'm like prone, right?
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Because he is being swarmed, he's going to focus 4 of his attacks on that. 1 on Kid and 1 on Angus. So, attacks for the swarms.
Their AC, I believe, is 12. Just
Yeah.
not fantastic.
Hit,
I don't think he can
hit.
miss.
Hit. Basically, unless he rolls a nat 1, he can't.
Yeah.
Because he's got a +10 with all his attacks. So.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All 4 hit the swarm. So, the swarm is going to take 14 plus 13 plus another 13 plus 12. So
And is
14,
this magical damage?
no.
Okay, then it's
Yeah, these weapons are magical. Like, they're all
okay.
like
The
basic
zombies
weapons.
get
So-
against.
Damage reduction to slashing.
Yeah, they have a damage
Yeah.
reduction to slashing.
And you know that he swung with mace, sword, spear, and second sword.
Okay.
So that leaves him with dagger and spear. Did I say spear? I didn't say spear.
Yeah, you
did
said
I?
spear already.
I did. So dagger, and what's the other thing he's got?
Doesn't he have like an
Doesn't-
axe or something?
That's the one. Thank you. So
You're
yeah,
welcome.
he's gonna dagger Kid. 22 to hit for 12 damage,
Another kid bites the dust.
and 13 to hit Angus, which is not good enough. He tries to swing an axe at Angus's back and fails miserably. Greg.
All right. Greg is just gonna run straight up to Zargathrax with one hand, Lucky the sword, the other hand, a handful of holy water bullets that she smashes on Lucky the sword, coating him in holy water as she takes a stab at Zargathrax's heart.
Greg's a badass bitch.
Greg
All right.
tries her damnedest.
Greg, who has at no point shown any close range fighting prowess, has decided this is the time to see if I can stab a dude.
Yeah.
And a 26 to hit. Greg stabs a dude.
Yay!
You stab a dude real hard as you just. No, you describe it. How do you envision this? You know, he's up like 2 small steps. He's standing there. He thinks he's all that. And you just.
Greg's just coming up from the side, not being subtle at all, and just thrusted it right in between a couple of his ribs.
Okay, yeah. Greg, have you stabbed many things before?
Yeah.
You know that when you stab something, there's usually resistance.
Yeah.
It's strange. No resistance occurs as your blade just slides in to where Zargathrax's ribs would be until it gets to where the heart should be. And then you feel the resistance. You know, it's like, oh, that's easy. Oh, ugh. Then your sword pierces through the other side, and you see a deep red spread across. You have damaged him. This is something he cannot heal.
Yeah!
When identified.
You done did it. You did it good.
Yay.
As he's just, you can see just blood flowing out. Like it's coming down your sword. It's dripping. Like, and this is a deep red blood that is even itself so magically potent. Like you can just, you know, it seems to like sparkle and emanate just raw power. It's like, yeah, fucking stabbed you. Deal with it.
Can I do like a bonus action to try and break it off inside of him?
You're gonna try and break the sword off?
Yeah, I'm gonna try
Um,
and break the sword off inside of him so that he can't possibly pull it out.
Okay, yeah. To break something in 3.5, that is usually called a sunder. To make a sunder, um, it's basically just a strength roll. You don't have a bunch of bonuses to it, so yes, just do strength for me. Just do a strength roll.
All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my reroll that our lovely friend gave me.
Well, you mean the crit from?
Yeah, the crit. I'm gonna use the crit. That's what I meant.
Well, there's that. Or, if memory serves, doesn't your luck sword grant you the ability to re-roll something once a day?
Oh yeah, so I'm just gonna do that. Shit.
Save the crit. So, as you, how are you trying to break it? You just like, are you like gonna kick it? You
No,
gonna punch it?
I'm
You
gonna stab
shoot
it in
off?
him, let it go, and then I'm just gonna bring it down like I'm gonna pistol whip the handle so that it breaks.
Half orc strength.
Yeah. As you go to do it, at first, it looks like you're just a millimeter off. It's like, oh no, you're gonna miss, and the sword seems to just readjust itself for you. So you hit it just right. The sword wants you to do this. The sword helped you. As the sword just slides back, so you can get it and you can shatter it. As you just, and it's just there. And you get a brief flash as the sword just emanates this potent magical energy as you split it, where you can basically see that the image of Zargafrax that you're fighting, it kind of flashes momentarily. It's almost like what you are fighting is not there. Like, it is. It's real. This isn't like a fancy illusion. But you can almost see through it all, and you can see that Zargafrax is magical energy. But there are two parts of him that are not. That would be his heart and his brain. These are parts of him that are still vulnerable, and you have just rammed part of that. You did it good. You did
Yay!
real good.
Very good.
Nice. And I'm just gonna end my turn by spitting on him.
The spit just passes through him.
Damn it.
You hear the
But
sound
the
of a
intent was
ting in the
there.
background as it hits like the weird spittoon that was behind the throne.
Flick.
Okay, so I am I actually prone or was I just flat-footed? You said, right?
Flat-footed. You've just been
Okay.
like tripped up a little bit. Yeah, you can get it. You can get it.
Okay. So, how beat up is Krail looking?
Krail is. He's taking a fair few. He has taken a fair few hits. It looks as if whatever strange magical creation he is could take a fair few more.
Is he bloodied?
Almost. He's nearly there. But Krail also looks immensely preoccupied with this swarm of zombies. As you saw, he had to spend so much time trying to fight them off. You can basically leave Krail. You can start trying to kill him if you want. Or you can go, zombies. Well, he's distracted by them. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's use the distraction then. And I'm going to quick draw the magic carpet and jump on that. And if I can, I'm going to attempt to fly up above Zargathrax. Again.
Okay. Yeah. You pull out your
He'll
magic
never see it coming the second time.
I love this image, but you reach into your bag, you pull out this rug and just flick it out, just
Yeah.
jump on, and it just goes do 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 do.
Just surfing it skyward with the troll gut rope as a lasso in the other hand.
Yeah. How high above Zargafrax are you flying?
Preferably high enough that I'm out of his immediate line of sight if he's preoccupied with things stabbing him in the heart.
Yes, Zargafrax is somewhat preoccupied currently, so
Okay.
you can just above
All
him.
right. I'm not going to be able to get an attack in this round, am I?
Yeah, yeah. That's your move action to flick it out and pull because you quick draw.
Okay.
Move. So
Cool.
just gonna
All right.
drop daggers down on him.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Go for it.
And yeah, I'm deliberately targeting his head because it looks like she's got the heart thing under wraps, and I can't hit his throat from here, which is my normal go-to. But still doesn't seem like a good idea with undead anyway. So, where's my page? There we go. Everything's moving on me. Ah!
I'm just gonna pop you behind Zargafrax to show that you're above him.
Sure. Do I get a sneak attack, or does he see me fly right above his head?
I mean, you would get a sneak attack anyway because he is currently being.
Okay, right. Flanked from several directions. Okay.
Oh, that's a crit fail.
It's an AC 20.
Oh.
That's bad.
We
Carpet, we got to work on our aim.
Well, you know what wasn't a critical failure? Fung for pie, fung few pie, fung for p. Whoever you are who just joined the party by following her on the channel. So, thank you very much. Now, what
Oh,
is...
wait. Do I have... did we get a crit or did we get an
Everyone's
advantage?
got one.
Or...
Everyone's got a crit.
Everyone's got a crit?
Yep.
I'm going to burn my crit. I'm going
Go
to
for it.
turn that 180. All right. So then 39 damage, right? And what do I double?
Well, you just double that, don't you? Because
Yeah, is that how we've been doing it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And 78 damage.
Yeah, that's a big boy. That's a big
Yeah.
boy hit. As you just throw it down into the back of his head. So minus that much.
And that's hitting an AC 35 with the -4 targeted penalty.
Yeah. That just smashes into the back of Zargafrax's head. You know, it just comes through, and you see large gaping wound. You just see your dagger imbued into the back of his skull.
One of the magic ones, obviously.
I assumed.
Yeah.
Luckily for Zargafrax, it's his turn, because that really did take him by surprise. In fact, you know, he was really not expecting that at all. So much so that he was looking all right, and that just shocked him. In fact, you know, it made him stumble forward ever so slightly. Just, oof.
And after that, I roll back onto the carpet and I look up at the ceiling and I look over at Sputnik and I go,
Okay, buddy, prepare to die.
Well. Okay. Zargafrax, who is not looking particularly great after that. 'Cause that
Wait.
is...
would you allow me to use my second attack to throw Sputnik off into the rafters somewhere out of, like, if there's a beam going to come at me, that he's not in exactly the line of sight between me and Zargathrax?
Yes, you can do that. You can just throw Sputnik. Just
Okay, I yell that, I give him a little kiss on his little dragon head, and I hurl him like a football.
Nice. Everybody gets a telepathic message from Sputnik going, Papa Nut. And then Sputnik goes, oh, I got wings.
You wouldn't know because I never use them.
He starts like acting like he's being, and just floats back up and finds a little safe space to hide. Zargafrax, who is looking surprisingly beaten down after that, he looks over to his remaining life force minions that he is siphoning, and he just raises a hand and flicks a finger, and the slow and steady tether that was connecting them, that just erupts into a bright blue, translucent beam as the remaining 8 just drop. Every bit of life essence is drained out of them. Their bodies just shrivel, and you can physically see any remaining life being drained out of them. Their eyes turn white. Any muscle is just drained out of them as they turn into husks and just collapse into dust. As Argafrax himself, he replenishes and just looks, all in all, healthier and better. In fact, excluding the sword rammed in him, he looks
And the
exactly
dagger
the same
rammed in his
as
skull.
the start of the.
Ah, shit. We really should have killed those guys.
I got
It
half
was an
of them.
option. You did.
Yep.
And that's part 1. What Zargafrax then continues to do is, with this increased power, this revitalization, he looks around the room. He looks up at Flick. He looks at Greg with a sword broken off in his chest. And he just reaches a hand behind him and touches the wall. And his hand tenses. It almost looks as if his fingers are grabbing into this solid stone wall behind him. And you see cracks appear, and those cracks begin to fill with potent magical power as those cracks expand and they fill the entire room. And the cracks get bigger and bigger and bigger. You soon begin to get this sensation that the entire fortress is falling apart. As moments after he does this, there is a very loud and powerful emanation of magic just erupts out. You can all feel this. And if everybody could make a fortitude save, please.
Uh-oh. My favorite.
Nat 20 for Greg, 16 for Kid,
Ooh.
12 for Flick. That is a 24 for Angus.
Oh no,
1
it's
for Utswa. Yikes. And 12 for Natalie. Okay, everybody who got 17 or less. So basically everybody except Greg and Angus. You are all going to take. It's not loads of damage. You are all going to take 9 plus 6, 15 plus 5, plus his spellcaster level, which is that. Okay, so 20. So you are all going to take 35 damage.
Just a reminder, Utsua takes none, Greg takes it all.
I'm
Yep.
going to, if I can retroactively, I'd like to use my crit to do the fortitude save.
Yes, you may. Anybody may retroactively do these things.
Okay, because I would have died otherwise.
How much was it again? How much damage?
35.
35. Okay.
Ow.
35.
And you are.
Not doing so hot.
I'm not going to say knocked prone or stunned, but basically, like you're knocked over, like because it's that powerful. As the entire room basically just explodes, and you find the entire fortress has gone. There is just this platform you are stood on, suspended in midair, surrounded in a hemisphere of magic. You can see the entire battlefield around you. Rebecca, you had your hand raised.
Yeah. What did someone have? Shut up.
No, I'm with you. I'm very much with the uhs. Is the appropriate response
Would
right
someone
now.
have realized that she had failed that save, and then Greg suddenly getting.
I mean, Because you've been hit by magical energy. You know when you do a good job of resisting something, and you know that like you are not prepared to resist that, and yet somehow you didn't feel it. In fact, what would be more appropriate, a spot check or a knowledge arcana check? To try and see this magical connection between you and Greg.
Let's see which one's higher, shall we?
Yeah, basically.
Spot, you said spot or knowledge arcana?
Yes.
Arcana it is. It's above 10 now.
It is above 10, and this was very noticeable because you were not prepared for this at all, and yet you, I assume it was kind of went like, ah.
Yeah.
And you catch a glimpse of this platinum ethereal chain between you and Greg, as you see Greg, you know, who doesn't look like she should have taken any damage, just... Greg, how do you want to imagine that you're receiving this? Just like cuts and bruises appear over your back or up your arm, or...
Imagine it's just like, I mean, if you could see the chain, it's just like a shockwave between Utswa and Greg, and the chain just like whips into their back, causing like a jolt of pain to stare. Like nothing external that you can see, but they're clearly in pain and they're clearly not doing okay.
Okay, another thing I just realized, Krail failed that save, so Krail's taking damage from that. So minus 35 for Krail. So that's that done. Yep. So yes, Utswa, you definitely notice that something fishy is going on. That Greg is taking damage when she shouldn't be, and you are not taking damage when you should be.
Greg, what did you do?
I didn't do anything, just keep fighting the dead guy.
The fuck did you do?
We have more important things to worry about right now. Keep fighting the dead guy.
You better be alive this I can yell at you more.
I love
Please.
this. Okay. That is everything that Cyberfax is doing for now. Just to reiterate, the fortress doesn't exist anymore. It has been destroyed. You are fighting this epic final battle on a floating platform suspended by magical energy, overseeing a battlefield in which a horde of undead is combating against your miscellaneous forces. Meanwhile, a giant maelstrom storm is surrounding you.
Dang,
Team
son.
battle, Daisychain versus Zargafrax, final destination, all the items.
So
Exactly.
Zargafrax looks to be made out of magic, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Spice is going to cast a spell and then move up next to Zargafrax. And that spell is anti-magic field.
Shit. Okay. Can I roll against that?
Saving throw, none. But
Okay.
there are certain things that resist it.
Okay.
Specifically,
cool.
true deities do resist it.
Cool.
So,
Which he is not. Okay.
This is going to be the
So-
biggest kick in the balls to Zargafrax if this doesn't work for him.
I mean, I've just realized something. Because anti-magic field, that is all magic.
yes. Well, and I was looking into that because I was concerned about what would happen to Spice when she casts that, but it specifically says that it unsummons like summoned demons or whatnot, and incorporeal undead, but not regular undead.
Yeah, because they exist now. Like they're there. But
I was really
what it is
scared
going to do.
about that.
This is actually an epic thing because this is I had planned to take a break after this round of combat, so this is a pretty big thing. I'll describe it. Like, do you want me to describe all of that and then Natalie is gonna? Okay, so Spice rushes over, creates this anti-magic field, and what you see is a whole bunch of stuff. For one, Angus's hammer. It it looks like the most boring, useless hammer. Flick's magic carpet plummets to the ground.
It's only a 10-foot radius, though, I
Oh,
think.
thank God, Flick.
Well, yeah, but what happened to the carpet when the room exploded?
You didn't crit fail your rolls, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we have seen Aladdin. It takes a big rock for that to happen.
Very big rock, yes.
And it wasn't
Oh,
rocks,
shit,
it was
Sputnik.
magical energy, so I don't know, you did like a...
Oh yeah, Spudnik. Uh-oh.
Okay, so, the hammer now looks innate and useless. The Wishblade looks innate and useless. Zargafrax himself, what you see is this bluish ethereal body that he has been... You see that solidifying. And you can see every wound that he should have taken thus far just appearing into the broken off sword still inside him. As you see, like, the flesh and bone and viscera just forming around it, and just huge gaping wound down his side. Zargafrax has no means now to do magic, to heal himself.
He's just a normal dude. Kill him. Quick.
Zargafrax is now a normal dude. At least while he's in this 10-foot radius.
Yes.
So.
Oh, yeah, and Spice is going to grapple him as well.
Well, Spice moved and...
Oh,
did the
sorry. So
Yeah.
I will do that as soon as possible.
Because otherwise that'd be combat over.
It would be.
Natalai, what are you doing?
I am going to... So it's not... That link doesn't exist yet. Or anymore. For more than one reason. But I want to... sort of... If that anti-magic field goes away, I want to see if I can establish the connection that he had with the guards.
I mean,
Like,
they're
open
all
myself
dead now.
up to him. I know, they're all dead. But I want to open myself up to the sort of, as far as I understand, he had that power over them because they believed in him. They were worshippers of his. And so he had that ability to tap into them. I want to do that as well. I want to, if possible.
Okay. Well, basically what he had done is he'd skipped that step in needing their worship. Gods are powered by people believing in them. That is just how deities work. He was skipping that step. He wasn't going to wait for people to believe in him and build churches and follow his rule. Like, no. He was like, you give me power. So he was skipping steps, basically.
Oh, okay.
You could probably just tie into that or find a way to... If you want to roll me either knowledge religion or see if you can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I would like to roll knowledge religion, please.
Go for it.
1 second. 2. There. Total of a 20.
20, yeah. You have a fairly solid idea of how to make this happen. He was skipping steps,
Yeah.
but you know that he does, even now, where he's just a normal dude, like, he's just a man. The moment he gets access to his magic, he's going to be right back up there to his deific levels.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Zargafrax, you've been married to him for centuries upon centuries. You have a connection. You know exactly what it is. You know how he makes connections. You know. So the moment his magic is back, you can force that connection and you can tie yourself to him.
Yeah. Cool. And now I want to, while I've got this time before that happens, I want to figure out how to put poison in that water. Basically.
Well, that would be...
But that wouldn't be this turn, I think.
No. Okay. Yeah, we'll get something for that next turn. All right. And that brings us to the end of our second round of combat, which is also a perfect place to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, everybody.
I actually have a real quick question. Because he's
go
no
for it,
longer
please.
doing magic, is the platform we're on no longer being held up?
The platform is plummeting.
That's what I thought.
So, you are now on a plummeting stone platform, heading down approximately 100 feet to a battlefield. All right. Wonderful. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, everybody. So, stay tuned.
We're back.
We're gonna die.
Oh.
Alrighty, we are back, everybody. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just getting a brief echo. Oh, whatever. It's fine. Alright, yeah. Amazing. So, where we left off, you have turned a literal embodiment of magic, a man turned to pure arcane energy, to just a man. You have stripped him of that. And just to clarify, because we've been getting lots of donations this session for some reason, I wonder why. A large donation, a game-changing donation of 1,000 bit. Basically, you type something into chat, I'm looking at it, and I'll go, yeah. So the limitations on game-changing donations are your imagination. So do with that as you will, you wonderful, wonderful human beings donating to this chat. So, in the initiative order, we are back up to Kid.
So Kid sees this guy has become more flesh and bone than anything he was before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to set down Sugar. Just leave him where he is. Kid's going to stride forward into the field. His arms will fall off in the process. The extra ones, not the regular ones.
Just once, I wish it'd be the other way around.
And I am going to proceed to punch the living daylights out of him.
Seems like a bad time for your extra arms to fall off.
Ah, well. I just don't have claws anymore, but I still have all the fists in fury. And these are treated as lethal. Actually, hold on. No, I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna grapple his ass.
Just his ass?
Yeah. Here comes the grapple. Take that, sorcerer man. But if there's one thing I know about wizards is that they're weak as fuck. How are you gonna deal with this?
That's not what they call that move where I come from.
Okay, so you rolled a 15.
15.
No one's going to believe me. You actually just rolled a 16 on the die.
Alrighty.
I was fully expecting him to fail that, if I'm honest.
No.
Alrighty.
So,
At this point, we're all equals as men, so.
well, we got another cheer from Strider Winters. Thank you very much. And for 1,000 bits, he has asked for something to happen, which will occur, but it's not. It's going to take time. It's going to be wonderful because it's so ridiculous.
A little bit, yeah.
Swear to God, if this is the time when the dragon arrives.
No. It's
Bushi is
more
coming.
Silly.
Bring Lulu with you.
Oh, God.
It's fine. I will do my best to make it so it doesn't diminish the power you're doing in this game. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna be ridiculous. And it's gonna be fun. Okay, so next up in the initiative is Utswa.
Oh, okay. I'm paying attention. Oh, tip on the way. I can't get close enough to attack him.
I mean, you can, but if you did, you would have no magic, so you can just run up and punch him.
I'm more than 20 feet away, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's true.
Just stay back, babe. Don't do it.
Oh,
I
also,
can't take it if you do.
to point out that magical link would be broken currently because Greg is within 10 feet of Spice.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's from a wish spell.
Okay, but
Ah.
yeah.
Transcend, like, magic. You know, that is like This is just a thing. It exists now.
Oh, okay, good.
Hmm.
Good.
Okay.
I have a thought.
Oh dear.
You know, like my thoughts to you, Shan.
Your thoughts scare me.
I should. Okay. Any of my invocations are considered magic.
They are, yes.
Okay, never mind. Fuck. Then I'm just gonna do activate fast healing because that's all I can fucking do right now. Besides move. I will move a little closer and then activate fast healing.
Yeah. So you move, you get some hit points back. Zooks was saying anything, doing anything. You have. or is it just
What do you say in a situation where you're falling and the guy in front of you is just a dude now and everyone's just like crowded around the dude? What do you say?
Maybe you should address the fact that in approximately 12 seconds, you're all going to have plummeted over 100 feet and you're all going to die from the impact alone.
Except for Utswa.
You're gonna be a pile of dust, but Utswa's gonna be fine.
Do that to Utsva.
We need those dragons.
No, we're falling right now, just pointing it out to you.
So, are wish spells impervious to this whole like anti-magic thing?
The wish you have already had, yes. Unfortunately, the sword is currently a mundane item,
Right.
so you can't make another wish on it until it is more than 10 feet away from spice.
Does Greg have like the
Okay.
hilt? Does that count?
Yes. I'm going to say the magic of the sword was in the hilt. For convenience.
No. The magic of the sword was in the friendship. Okay, that might change what I do. Might.
Doing it. There's nothing more I can do. I can cast a warning, but I've already done my turn. Never mind. Continue.
Okay, so man formerly known as Krail, he's just gonna keep swinging at the swarm of zombies. Unless it's a 1, he hits them. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they all hit. So they take 15, 17, 12, 16, 13, and 13. I forgot all the numbers I said.
Are you killing zombies? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll apply that. I got that.
Because he's swarmed by them. He's kind of like stuck.
Total of 4 attacks?
6 attacks.
6. Okay, 6 attacks. Okay.
Yeah. He's just swinging at them.
Yep, they're taking a lot of damage.
Yeah. So that's what's going on there. It's not very impressive. Oh, you totally forgot to roll the damage they dealt to him.
Oh yeah, I did.
Retroactively slap that in, whatever it was we said. It's like 5d6, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
There, 19 damage.
Wonderful. Minus 19. There we go.
Can the last one of the zombies to die be his legs?
Oh yeah, totally. That's that. Greg, now it's you.
Alright, I'm gonna move this far away. And I'm going to use my final wish spell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to wish that I took everyone's fall damage.
Greg. Jan.
Except for Zargafrax and except for Krail.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
That's the only way the wish seems fair to me, because I don't want to make it so OP that like we all live.
That's fair.
It's the only way that seems fair.
Once again, are you
And-
announcing this loudly for people to hear, or are you being very...
No, I'm gonna whisper it so that change just shoot out to all of my friends from me, and only I can see it. And with my final attack, I'm going to dead shot at Zargafrax.
Do it.
All right, I just gotta get to that page.
Yeah.
Hold on, but hold
Great
on,
wish.
but a moment.
You're gonna break my heart, Shannon.
I'd
Guys,
say I'm
I'm
sorry,
telling
but
you.
I'm fucking not.
I know you're not.
Shan is so determined to just kill Greg.
You also have a crit remaining. If that at some
I'm
point
gonna-
is useful.
I'm gonna use that crit on this final dead shot.
Mm-hmm. So you make as many attack rolls as you based on your base attack. So you have 2 attacks you can make with one gun at the moment.
All right.
So if any of them hit, if any of the attack rolls hit the target, the gunslinger stinger attack. Yeah. So you roll. If any of them hit, it counts as they all hit, and you increase the damage for each hit. So basically, it's one big hit for all of your
Yeah.
shots.
So that's
You are dual wielding. Like, I'm assuming after you make the wish, you drop the hilt, grab your
yeah.
gun,
I
so you
pull
can
out Peaches and Daisy, and I go all slow motion.
Yeah, so you can make 4 attacks.
All right.
2 of each gun. If any of them hit, all 4 hit, you get to roll damage for all 4, and then it's doubled for crit.
All right. So 33. I'm assuming hits.
Yep. So add all of that damage together, double it for the crit. So that is 10, 21, 32, 44, 88 damage.
88 damage to Zargafrax.
Yeah. As you just one big boy shot. That's basically how classes, just I don't know what you do. You do some dope ass shit. Big boy shot. Where are you filling him with holes that he didn't have before?
Yeah, I just look over at Utsua before I pull the trigger, and I just say, "I love you," and I pull the trigger on both of my guns, just shooting.
Okay.
Zargafrax is riddled with wounds, and so much so that he collapses forward. He stumbles. He's starting to fall down the steps. He is so close to being just gone. He is barely clinging on to life at this point. Flick.
So, at the end of my last turn, I rolled over on my back and I looked up at the ceiling and I threw Sputnik off into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Then the room violently exploded around us,
Yeah.
dealing 35 points of damage to anyone who failed their fortitude save. Like me and Sputnik,
Oh no.
who had 5 hit points.
I can bring him back. Don't worry.
So as I throw Sputnik off into the darkness,
Oh, poor thing.
the room erupts underneath me, and I watch the force wave go past me, and I imagine Sputnik basically explodes.
We can, for ease, mainly because I don't think I quite have the heart to explode the tiny baby dragon. I'm gonna say the wave hits him. He doesn't explode, but Sputnik was flying in midair, being quite smug and happy, like, oh yeah, I can fly. Force wave goes, the wings just stop, and he just thuds into the ground. It's very much like the scene from Lion King where Simba is going, "Dad, wake up." Sputnik is lifeless on the ground.
And Flick closes his eyes against the tears, And reaching into his vest, he pulls out his 2 oldest daggers, and he just rolls his shoulder and tumbles off of the carpet down towards Zargathrax. And I'm attempting to use all of my weight to drive these 2 daggers into the back of his neck over his crumpled form and scissor his head off.
Just for
Okay.
cinematic fun, can Kid get underneath Zargathrax to make sure that he's not moving forward, so make sure Flick's daggers hit home?
Totally.
All right.
Roll for a Flick.
Anti-magic field doesn't negate sneak attack.
Not at all. You've not used your crit yet, have you, Flick?
Oh, he did. Yeah.
I assume I don't need it.
Probably not. 23,
Right.
27 damage. Yeah. I'm assuming you're going all Anakin against Count Dooku in Revenge of the Sith. Crossblades.
Yeah. That's the idea.
Zargathrax is... There's a pause, you know, it's very anime, where it looks like nothing happened before a single trickle of blood rolls down the front of Zargathrax's throat and drips onto the floor. Then another and another and another, as it just turns into a river flowing as his head just rolls off, hits the step, and rolls. The body collapses backwards. Oh, no, it doesn't collapse backwards. That isn't how physics works. The body just crumples. Just down.
And Flick is pretty much lying on top of the body, like collapsed on top of it.
As the head rolls, it just rolls outside of the 10-foot area. And it seems to just begin to glow. A potent, powerful magic. For a moment, it looks as if you can see a body forming from underneath this stump. Out of nowhere, because somebody decided it'd be hilarious to donate a magical portal appears just above this as a small gnomish looking fellow just drops out, lands, before standing, dusting himself down and adjusting this large trench coat, which looks way too large for him. In fact, it looks like a trench coat designed for a human. As he lands, adjusts his glasses, and picks up this head and goes, okay, crap, where's his voice?
Oh no.
It's a really weird thing for you to say.
Yeah, hang on. There's a really specific voice. And it's a bit screechy, so I actually need to close my window. Screech out.
Oh boy.
For those
Best
who
lead
wear
up ever.
headphones, we apologize.
Ah! Oh, this is nice. Butchie likes this. I'm just going to put it in a bag. In the sack, Butchie. Oh, wait. Magic. Butchie is going to be very powerful now. And then a portal opens and Butchie disappears.
He doesn't go through the portal opens next to him, and then he just dematerializes like in Star Trek, and then the portal closes.
It just kind of looks
Exactly.
there, and like the last time he saw someone come through a portal, they were a god. So this is now the second god he has recognized.
All hail Lord Bucci.
So, if anybody wants to know what the heck that just was, there is a play-by-post game which the information you can find all about in the Discord server of Welcome to Party, and Bucci is a character. So if you want to learn more about that, I recommend going checking out that nonsense. With that, the man formerly known as Krail just falls to pieces, just ceases to move. The undead horde below you just stop and all begin to fall. Speaking of falling, you are. This entire platform is plummeting down towards the ground. You have exactly 6 seconds, i.e., 1 round of combat, to do something. Otherwise, you're all going to fall, and you're all going to take 10d10 damage from falling over 100 feet.
Spice,
No,
drop the
they're
shield.
not.
Well, as far
They're
as
not
we
gonna
know, we
take
are.
any damage whatsoever.
We don't
Yeah,
know that.
okay. Yeah,
Spice,
Greg.
drop the field.
For Greg's turn, she looks at everyone and is just like salutes everyone, and no one understands what's going on except for Greg.
All right, Spice, fix it. Spice would drop the anti-magic field and greater teleport everyone to the ground.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Well, as you are all teleported to the ground, what you see is, as the platform is falling, you see a large, well, not large, a gargantuan silver dragon flying up beneath the platform as the platform falls down and crushes that dragon and crushes it into the ground. Notad has been crushed.
Well,
Notad tries, from beneath the wreckage, tries to give a little wink to Kid, but then plays dead. The storm around you slowly fades, and all around you, there's hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of bodies. Some that were your friends and on your side, some that were not so much. If you look around, you'll see a few. Well, you know what? Yeah, you saved all your friends actually. None of the important people with names seem to die. Fortunately for you. No, I don't have the heart to even kill the ones who you didn't really care that much about, because it just seems a bit mean. So as everything calms down, there's a long silence before, from somewhere in the crowd, you hear a single voice just go, "Mercenaries?"
Kid is going to cast. He's going to cast a spell. This is Ghost Sound, and I'm going to make it sound like 20 people have all just screamed the word mercenaries.
Mercenaries, yeah.
Natalie is going to go over, and because included in the greater teleport was the tiny baby dragon thingy, she's gonna grab this thing, holding it by the wing like it's like
A dead bat.
Yeah.
You had to say it like that, huh?
Yeah. And just tosses it aside, but before it hits the ground, it's alive again.
It's the most casual resurrection ever.
Pretty much.
And then she goes over and kneels down next to Zargafrax and just sort of holds the corpse down on her knees next to it. Till death to us part.
At which point Flick rolls off the back of the corpse.
Oh god. All right. And now Greg has to live with every time one of us falls out of bed.
Yep.
Oh, it fits so
Wrap me
well.
in styrofoam. Good lord.
All right.
Don't
Uh,
anyone go hiking.
You're all gonna get it in a few minutes. It's gonna be great. Trust me, we'll get there. It'll be awesome.
So
Okay.
I'd like to go have my final say with Zarfax as well, because out of everyone, aside from obviously Natalie, I think I'm the only person who's ever actually spoken with him.
We don't
Yeah.
have his head, so that kind of sucks. But
That's fine. Kid's an illusionist. He can make the head look like it's there. I'm going to go up to the corpse. I'm going to kind of look at it, give it a little kick. My arms came back after the animagic skill dropped, by the way, so I've got 4 arms doing this. And I'm just going to look at the corpse, and I'm like, do you know what your problem was? Out of every single one of the gods that has ever claimed to exist, you're the only one who ever actually tried to do something.
That's where you went wrong, buddy.
That's exactly where he went wrong. Because
It's
here's the
just-
thing. Here's the thing.
Uh,
I have never claimed to believe in any other than just one god, and that was recent. And let me tell you, the entire reason is because you tried to change the world. The gods don't want to change the world. Not anymore. And that is where you fail. Die in hell. I'm going to take his finger
We're all just taking parts of them.
as a souvenir.
Wow. It's like
Yeah,
sending a chunk
Greg.
of them to every corner of the kingdom.
At this point, Greg is just gonna drop to her knees because she expected to die, and just look for Utsua.
Utsa runs over to you to grab. The fuck?
You
I love
didn't
you
see
too.
anything.
Love you too, you fool.
And they're just gonna hug her.
No, yeah.
Good,
Utsa
good.
may or may not burst into tears.
Now is the most appropriate time to just sob. You did it. You won. Good job, everybody. Okay. Roleplay wise, we've got a few choices here. Either we can, have a great big, celebration, a feast, and you can have those moments of roleplay, or we can kind of steamroll past that and do like a lovely epilogue, jump X amount of time into the future, and we can find out what everybody is doing with their lives. What sounds more
Epilogue. Epilogue.
okay? Epilogue time. Obviously,
2 whole people said epilogue, so we're going with it.
I kind of like
mean-
it too.
does anyone else have something they want to do immediately in the aftermath?
Yes.
Go for it.
I'm going to throw a rock at Angus,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to say, well, there you go, dipshit. There's all your kingdom. Now don't run it into the ground.
It'll just hit Angus in the chest, and he goes, "Hey, so I'm the king of a pile of rubble. Suppose we should start rebuilding or something."
Seems like it.
We can start on that after we have a great big fuck up party. Because I don't know about you, but I could really use a drink.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
I should probably also go find out what's happening to my wife.
I'll
hey.
get her later. Don't you worry.
Hey, hey, Unst. That note, that was just a motivational thing. That wasn't really Unst. Oh God.
All of your friends show up and we're all there, and Unz just puts a hand on your shoulder, Flick, and he just looks at you and goes, "I always knew little man, and I respect you. Ever
Well-
since day one, you have been my new best friend. Vlad sucked.
Yeah, he kind of did, didn't he?
So,
Uh,
who wants to go get drunk?"
Yeah. All right, first drink since Primrose died. Let's go.
Natalie would.
I'm going to punch him in the back of the head for saying it like that.
Natalie would take her sacrificial dagger and cut open Zargfax's chest and remove his heart and sort of hug that and walk with them.
We'll leave the necromancer to the necromancer things.
She's got a head and a heart.
The head's gone. The head's now teleported with some weird dimension hopping gnome.
No, she has her own personal head from before, remember?
Oh yeah, that's one of her sons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, she would cut the tie and drop the head to the floor. She doesn't care about that at all. And in fact, all of her children would be dispelled and die.
You've disowned all of your children.
So, Natalie, the heart is still beating. It seems to still have some potent magical energy in it. It's not like a particularly vigorous beating, but there is still a sign of life within it. Not enough that he can reincarnate himself, but a small part of Zargafrax does live on.
I'm going to cast Make Greater Undead. Just on the heart. And just place
As
it
you do that,
in my bag.
as you cast that, a ghostly visage, not of the Zargafrax that everybody knew as this kind of sickly man, but the Zargafrax that Nat first knew. A very young, handsome man. And he looks, for lack of a better term, just less evil. He just looks somewhat content as this ghostly image stands beside you and just holds your hand.
Soon. Soon. And we'll walk with the group.
If anybody has any NPCs or jump X amount of time into the future for epilogue, you may do so now. If not, we can do that and we can start figuring out what happened to everybody.
One thing. The book Eliza got.
Oh, did Primrose write an epilogue?
I mean, not really, but
You okay, Rebecca?
I'm good. I'm just. Fine. Go ahead.
If you would like, I can read those things for you because I know you've sent them to me. Or do you think you can do it?
Oh, is that happening now? Okay. I only think I can do it. I can try.
Well, what I was going to say is during this, immediate epilogue scene, everyone will be gathered. We sat on some makeshift table, and Eliza will get out this book and she will start to read from it. As she does so, you're all positive you can both see and hear Primrose as if there was a place set at the table for them. And you all get these messages in Primrose's voice as Eliza reads them from the book.
I can try and read them. Hang on. Let me get them pulled up.
Haven't done the Primrose voice in a while, huh?
A little bit. Oh man. Okay. Where did I put them? Okay. So we're like at a table.
Yeah,
Festivities.
stereotypical big feast, table for the Daisychains. You're all gathered there. Keldor shows up. He sits down. He looks like he had a hell of a fight. But
Okay.
he
And I will
looked- he
just
looked fine.
these off as they were put in the book.
Okay.
If I can remember her voice, remember their voice. Kid, yeah. Kid. I've enjoyed our friendship for what it is in our sparring session. Equally so. I only wish it could have lasted longer. Slam that sorcerer in the face. Eliza. You have blessed the soul of mine in more ways than one, my dear Eliza. I never told you, but you were my dream. I searched for the longest time and never found someone I truly connected with. I thank you. I love you. Geldor, thank you for saying I'm not a monster. I think maybe I can pass on believing that. Angus, it's been an interesting turn of events following your lead into the depths of this chaos. The lily I gave you, may it grant you luck in holding your wife one. Wak, I wish we could have spoken more. You seem like an interesting person beneath that cloak. Is Ginthry here?
Oh, everyone's here.
Okay, Ginthry. Believe in yourself. You have a place among the Daisychains and are valued by your friends. Doratara, I thank you for the lessons you taught me and the skills you imparted. They empowered me with strength, thought, long life. Uns, after parting ways, we encountered orcs from our old tribe and were brought down. One of them was different. He said he had half-breed children of his own and assisted in killing the other three. Perhaps things are beginning to change for those. There's one for Zendrix, but Zendrix isn't here. Is she?
Zendrick shows for
Okay. Zendrix, I would have liked to discuss flowers with you. Perhaps in the next life. Flick. Our instruments go well together, and I recall that night for though. I'm sorry to leave so soon. You asked me not to, but time persists on its own accord. Stay out of trouble, grandson.
Never.
Not Dad. Apologize to kid. Start not the dragon.
No, Ted isn't there. He's dead.
Okay, he's
Kid gives a knowing wink.
Mateus. Lutes and flutes sound well in tune. Once you pass on, come find me. Perhaps we'll play together then. Meat sprinkles. Friendship is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Hurry back. Kid misses you. And there's okay. There's one for Utswa, but I'm not sure if that would need to be read or not.
That's entirely up to you.
Whether Eliza would want to read that to Utswa or not. Utswa
You know
can
what?
always read it on
Why
her own.
not? Utswa, how I miss you, my dear friend. I hope to see you one last time, but alas, fate is unkind to us. The group I traveled with in my final days, the Daisychains. I told him about you and your shop. Did you change the name again, or have you finally settled on one? My dream came true, Utswa. I married a wonderful woman by the name of Eliza Hawk. We met on the road, and I cherished her so. Perhaps you'll tell her of days long past. There's a boy in this group named Kid. It's probably not his real name, but he's clung to the title of Yar as of late. He's a tactician, but well, he's fun to talk to. Kaldor is the noble fellow. A knight, he says. If you need advice, he's a good one to speak to. Flacco is always hiding away in a cloak. He's got these markings I wish I could read. Draconic, I think. I didn't get the chance to know him well, but he's dependable and makes good potatoes. Ginthry is the older gentleman. Kid says he looks like a lynch. He's got the good heart and he usually cooks for us. I think he's lonely, so maybe talk to him. He seems like the type who would be interested in some of the gear sculptures you sell in your shop. There's another in the group like me, Woods, same tribe and all. He used to lead a group of his own, but came with us instead. A bit hard-headed, but kind in his own right. Zindrix is an oddity. She's taken a vow of silence and stays mostly to herself and her wolf companion. Part of me wonders if she'll stay with us or not. Flick is the wee fellow in black. He's a good ally and likes to give hugs. He's fun to hold. I'm not sure if you'll meet him, but Notad Raygon is 100% not a dragon. He's telling you. There's another bard in the party. The Bardic Knock, he calls himself, but his real name is Mateus. Ask him for a song, would you? I know how much you like small things, so rejoice at the presence of meeting Meat Sprinkles. Kid named him, but his goblin name is Sprinkle, I think. If I remember right, he holds the title of the Dark Pony. Oh, on a similar note, Kid is the Dark Horse, Flick is the Dark Chicken, and I am the Dark Ram. Another in our group, Dorothea, helped me achieve that title. She taught me a few things about punching. I totally beat up Kid on a few different occasions. The leader of our group. I hope you can see behind well, okay. I hope you can see beyond his past. Angus McFife. Yes, the one and the same. He's different from his father. Don't be too harsh on him. If you find yourself among the Daisychain, you can place your trust in them, as I did. They've set out to free Dunkirk from the evils that plague this world. I believe in them. And to Greg. You brought me peace of mind those 3 years ago, and I haven't forgot the conversation. I won't be making it back to see you feel like I wanted. But I ask you keep her close. Not only as a friend, but as a protector as well. We never did get to share that drink. Perhaps in the next life.
That was really nice.
There's a lot of talking.
It was
It
awesome.
was, but it was good. I like that. So everybody gets to hear that. They get these final moments from Primrose, and after that is said, the image that you swear you can see just seems to disappear off. And as it does so, you notice the being that was, you know, co-piloting Eliza. That also seems to disappear as well, as Eliza has finally achieved closure on everything and doesn't feel quite so weak. If there are other things people want to do now in the immediate aftermath, say so. If not, we can jump however far into the future we feel is appropriate and discuss what everybody has done in their time after the liberation from Zargafrak, the Sorcerer King.
Natalie would seek out Kid when he is not busy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he has taken. Kid doesn't drink very much. He already knows that he's not good at it. So he's just kind of watching the others get drunk. It's a habit.
Yeah.
I convince Kid to take one drink, and I lace with like 7 other drinks.
Oh God. Okay. Yep. I'll roll for it.
Here, have this beer, which is entirely shots.
Okay, fortitude. Let's see if you're any good. That's a 26. I think I'm fine for now, but I'm tipsy.
Yeah. In your tipsiness, Natalie will come and approach you and be like, "Hey, word."
Hey, Natalie. Yeah.
You made me a promise.
Did I?
You did.
Refresh my memory.
You do not remember back in the Mountain of the Dragons?
At the moment, no.
You promised to reunite me with my husband.
I have. Are you here? Is that? I look for the figure. Is that him? Is that the one?
That's not what I
No.
meant.
Oh. 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 Do you want to do it here?
I do not
But-
care.
Hey. Okay. Yeah, I can. I can do it. Yeah, if you want me to. Here. Let's. Does it need to be today?
No.
Okay. Because there was something I told myself I'd do as soon as I'd finished this, and if you wanna, like leave with me, I can take care of you after like we're out of these people seeing,
Yes.
if that's fine.
I'll follow you.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, that's heavy. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right, Matt. Epilogue time.
Okay. So, um, how far are we wanting to jump? You know, in my mind, you know, it's going to take, you know, maybe 2-3 years for the entire kingdom to be rebuilt, essentially, if not slightly longer. But we can jump further ahead if people want more time to decide what they've done with their lives.
I've got an idea for the mid to less mid future.
Okay, so you know what? If we say it's taken 3 years for the kingdom to rebuild itself, you know, Dunkirk, Dundee are rebuilt. Calnbath is actually turned into a real city and settlement. Scarfell grows. Like, it is now a much larger society because everything is a lot more prosperous and being run by this council, of which many of you have very significant roles. Flick, let's start with you. in your
So
time of having accumulated a lot of power, and what have you done with all of that? What is daily life for Flick, the Lord of Coin?
well, immediately he returns to check on the kids that he helped get on their feet back in the first town we went to, and make sure that they're still doing okay. And after that, he would proceed with Angus to attempt to rebuild the kingdom as the treasurer, keeping all the coin very, very safe, except for the small trickle that he stole for himself so nobody would notice. And up until Angus found that out, things, I imagine, were going pretty great. Then, after an indeterminate amount of angst and communal parting of ways, Flick has now traveled off into the world and gone on sort of a Avengers Assemble quest to go check up on all the other NPCs and everyone who isn't doing something decisive with their lives. He has offered a position in the traveling Daisychain Carnival, where he will serve out the rest of his days as the ringmaster and head acrobat, traveling between the several settlements of the land and hopefully beyond when that gets a little boring.
Okay, I like that. Kid, what is life for Jarl of Cardenbath?
Well, as it happens, Kid appoints Meat Sprinkles to be a temporary stand-in for him, at least for the time being,
Mm-hmm.
as he has something else that he was needing to do. Thankfully, after he reunites with Notad, who had faked his death, not too long later, it wasn't too hard to acquire some dragon bile
Mm-hmm.
that he can give to Natalie, either directly so that she may consume it and end there, or he can deliver it through a weapon, depending on what her choice was.
Weapon.
But he made good on that promise. He then sent Notad to wait for a little bit and then assume his form, at least for the time being. Kid spent the 2 years traveling, looking around, trying to find the one thing he was not able to find on this trip: who he was. He started around the ruins of Dunkirk. He went out into the surrounding countryside, chasing some vague recollections, until he came across a house. Outside this house was a woman, probably in her 40s. She had long black hair, blue eyes, had the signs of age, and it was very clear that she'd never known life as anything other than a farmer. He walked up to her, and she at first was a little bit shocked at the amount of armor and weapons this man was carrying. Then she saw him. Saw the black hair that looked so similar to her own, saw the blue eyes that looked so similar to hers, but the face that was absolutely reminiscent of his father's. She looked at him and said, "Garrett, are you finally home?" Only with not so deep a voice, because that's the voice modifier, so sorry about that.
Runs in the family.
And for the first time in his life, Kid initiated a hug. All right, who's next?
Okay. Natalie,
Go
yours
Vaco.
Natalie's is quite quick and short.
Mhm.
You ask Kid to reunite you with your husband. What is the afterlife like for Natalie and Zargafrak?
her ideal would be that the pain and difficulty that she went through and that was put upon Zargafrax for, in order to kill him, would redeem them in the eyes of Mother, and that they could both spend eternity in her domain.
That sounds fair to me. Yeah, so you get to spend, having suffered eternally through immortality in life, you are rewarded by residing in essentially a plush, natural landscape for all eternity. Beautiful running rivers, woodlands, grasslands, just idyllic country life for all eternity.
Settle down there, Thanos.
I am assuming Greg and Utswas are tied together, unless something else happens.
They just
Unless
never
Flick
talk
falls
again.
off a cliff.
No, I think Greg's first manner of business would be severing that tie through
Oh my god.
magical means before they headed off with Utswa. Would be severing that chain, except for their chain with Utswa. They left that part out.
Yeah, that was the part you guys were gonna get later. He started a traveling acrobat troupe, and he can't take fall damage anymore. I'm immune.
But yeah, Greg would stick close to Utswa.
You said 3 years have passed? 2, 3 years?
3 years is how long it takes for Kingdom to rebuild itself, and then you can cover any time after that.
I think within those 3 years, Utswa gathered what funds she had, and collected more funds, and bought 2 tickets to go across the ocean with her and Greg. If Greg wanted to come along.
Yeah.
And when they got to the other country, bought a wagon, tried her hand at being a merchant again. Kind of went back to the whole dwarf and half-orc traveling, like she did back in the day with Prim. But this time, half-orc loves her in return.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Maybe a little.
A little bit.
So many years go, like many weeks, months, years go by, and eventually, each and every one of you receives a letter, basically saying, "Hey, come and hang out at the Drunken Bard for one night." Back where everything all began. For convenience, I assume you all say yes to this, otherwise it ruins my storybook ending.
Yes.
For reasons Natalie can't come, but
Yeah. She's there in spirit.
Being that powerful at a necromancer, yeah, there's like 2 ghosts up on the balcony.
As you all gather in the Drunken Bar, it's now a thriving business. It's still built into the side of the castle of Dundee, which is now bigger and more fortified, and seems to have large aerial shields to protect it from fireballs. Shooting from the sky.
Good work, Gen3.
Fool me once, shame on you.
As you all gather, you all walk in whichever order you arrive, and from behind the bar you see a very now old-looking man. Still has quite long hair. Still has very distinguished facial hair. Van Dyke, so goatee, large mustache, twirled up, and he greets you all. And he just looks at you and goes, "Ah, my friends! So good to see how you have all succeeded so wonderfully well. I am so proud of each and every one of you for joining me along this adventure, for showing me I was more than just some loudmouth asshole. And I would like to reward you with everything I have achieved." And with that, he just pulls out a single chest and opens it up. And inside this chest is it appears to be a swirling mass of magical energy. And as each and every one of you looks into it, everything you could ever have wanted, every desire, every wish, is immediately fulfilled. You are transported to anywhere you wish to live. You own anything you wish to own. Everything that your character could ever want has been accomplished.
So for Flick, the world implodes into a black hole of money.
Basically, what this is it is the equivalent of like, hey, here is your to eternal happiness. And with that, thank you. As that's everything.
Doesn't feel like it.
Year and a half from this.
Fine, what do you want? What do you fucking want? Like, want to kill you?
I think the funny thing is that for Greg, nothing happened.
Actually,
Because you
yeah,
already
I'd
have
honestly say that'd
everything you
be
want?
pretty similar for most of us.
Yeah. Flick actually kind of made the life he wanted in that caravan. He went around and he got the kids and he gathered up Unst and a bunch of the other NPCs and just kept on going on adventures. And
And Garrett finally
Fine.
has his name.
yeah,
Fine.
right.
Want something even more cliche than all of that? As you all look into the swirling massive vortex and nothing happens, the elderly man behind the bar looks at you and goes, "See? True happiness is the friendships and adventures you have
A
along
ghost
the
slaps
way."
him.
He got old.
He falls into the vortex.
There we go. Now we got everything we ever wanted.
That would be hilarious if it fulfills all your wishes. The only thing that happens is he disappears.
Oh my god.
Am I alone here? Anybody else? No? Okay, come on. In you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
How do we end like that?
Well, been informed we actually, 3V isn't on tonight, so we did have extra time, but I don't think we need
For the
any
first
extra
time ever.
Finish early.
I guess what we can do, we've got a bit of time. We can do a little bit of what's it?
Could all play solitaire.
No, I suppose we can do a little bit of like a dissection on everything. Because that's the end. Like, if anybody has questions about anything or just want to discuss the game in general, we've been playing this for, this campaign started like in March last year, and it has been here on the channel since the 1st of April 2017. It is officially the longest running game on this entire channel, and we will forever hold
Nice.
that title. So we won.
Suck it, everyone else.
That's right.
First
Okay.
completed campaign. This is a nice feeling.
Isn't it though?
I guess
Yeah,
just
mine too.
as someone who joined pretty late in the game, just sort of on a whim, Bardic messaged me to come help you guys out because you needed people. This has been one of the most fun games that I've ever played. I've finished a couple campaigns and it's just been a blast, and I'm so glad that I was asked to join because I'm glad I got to be a part
Us
of it.
too.
This has been so fun. I got to play a gunslinger, never done that. A half-orc, never done that. Lesbian, kinda. Sometimes.
3.5, you've never done that.
Yeah.
Best friend, look at that.
Yeah, and I got to meet all of you, and Rebecca and I have been writing since we met, basically. So it's been literally life-changing, and I'm so glad to have been a part of it.
Oh
Then
man, it's
Greg
not the first
before-
campaign I've used Garrett in.
Yeah.
Just because whenever I created the character, I ended up actually being in another game, open world with a British DM, and he just turned out to be probably the worst person I'd ever met. Just in the way that he treated other people, and I'm like, this character deserves more than this. So I thought whenever I did this, I actually pitched 3 characters to Matt, and Matt ended up liking Kid the most out of all 3 of them. So getting the chance to actually bring him to fruition, it definitely didn't go the way I thought it would. I always designed him to be like the most epic, survive at all costs fighter possible, and I reimagined him as the one most suicidal character I could possibly think of. And I'm glad to know that you can make it through a game like that.
Depends who the DM is.
And I've never been a tactician before. Never got the chance to go through and say, all right, this is my plan, and then get to see how it narratively works.
You're good at it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's been interesting. I wanted to slap you when you set the carts on fire, but like, I guess it worked out in the long run.
That's the annoying thing, is that it always does sort of work.
I have an interesting little experiment. Because it's also, hey, let's pat ourselves on the back a lot more. What's everyone's favorite thing that happened during all this game? Like, for as long as they anything they remember like that.
I liked
That is
kicking
something
that goblin
will-
off a mountain. Or not goblin, kobold.
Wow, best
That's a pretty
thing.
choice.
I liked having the actual long-running relationships in a long campaign that I've never really gotten before.
I think if I had to say one thing that was my favorite out of all of it, probably just the sheer amount of fucking around that we did.
Yeah.
It became perfect. I actually ended up building Kid around the fact that everybody else was not a perfect character. And that just made it so much fun. I think that's what ended up making him become a tactician, because he could pull someone out of the flat fire if they had to.
Yeah.
For me, it was definitely the first session that I joined because I'd never been so like embraced by a group for my sheer stupidity. That was pretty great.
The bear.
Right before you showed up, I think there was this like collective inhalation of breath when Matt's like, "Oh, okay, no, we don't need to do interviews. I got somebody." We're all like, "Oh, okay." We might have wanted to try this on first, and then you showed up, and it's like, "Oh, okay, no, he found somebody."
Yeah. And it just makes me so happy because Welcome to the Party was the first time I ever played D&D with Throck as the DM, and I played with
Yeah.
Shogun, and it was one of the most fun things. And then I had disappeared for a very long time, and to that Matt brought me back, it was so much fun. I was glad to be back on the channel that started it all, especially with a group of such insane human beings that were just like, you know what, you have a stupid idea, let's fucking do it. And I was
Right?
like, yes,
We're like a
this is
stupid
my yeah, these are my people. And it was just very it
amplifier.
was
No
just
shame for bad ideas.
so nice.
Yeah, both of you guys were really great fits. I'm really glad you could come in and help us out with our dwindling numbers.
All right, Rebecca. What about you? What is, if you could just like quantify one? I'm assuming it's Shan, fundamentally.
Well, I mean, I have 3. They're tied. I can't decide.
Oh, go for it.
Okay.
Share all of them.
So the first one is episode, I think, 14 in the tavern. With the thing, you know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Mhm.
What you're talking about?
That was amazing. Number 2 is second one is when Prim and Flick shared that evening playing instruments together. That was really nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
That was a real I feel like Prim really had a character at that point.
Yeah.
It was definitive at that point. Where they are the grandparent, take care of everybody else.
That was
And
really
then the
good.
third is Shan.
Oh shucks.
Okay. Well,
What was your favorite part, Matt?
for me,
Yeah, you're not getting out of
If I
this.
well, okay. Cheesy time. My favorite part was you, the players, because when I initially planned this, for one, this entire world is based off fucking power metal out.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh hey, it's a story, and this guy he goes into camo, does a thing, and it's cool. Like, all right, yeah. And how you have transformed that from what is a very by the numbers story to whatever the hell this stuff.
Yep.
An individual moment. I've probably got 2. One is a very serious one, and that is obviously the passing of Primrose. That was a beautifully handled moment. I think how everyone reacted to it, how everybody felt with it, how just everything about that was very much like, all right, yeah, this is the first time I've ever handled a character death, and it just worked. Everything about it just worked, I think. And the other one, it is a very selfish moment because of what it led on to, and that was goblin bowling. And the reason that is a very selfish moment for me is because that is the exact moment that caused Shogun and I to start fully interacting with each other. Because Shogun, you were the other person who started running games here on Wild City when it first started, along with we were the first people brought in, and Wild Party had no idea, but it knew what it wanted to be, but it hadn't set itself up. And there wasn't a huge amount of interaction between people running games because there wasn't a full community yet. It was kind of like, well, both you showed up with a pre-existing group, I showed up with a pre-existing group. I don't think a welcome to the party game existed at that point. And I know that was a moment which caused us to start interacting and talking to each other, and just causing a tie between the different people running games, and then the different players are different. And fundamentally, Shogun easily one of the best friends I've made in literally years. And the fact that I can quantify what caused that friendship is strangely beautiful, and the fact it happened in this game, it's like, oh hey, yeah, that. And another thing, because I've been doing a lot of thinking about it in general, what this game has really helped push me towards is it has made me find what I'm actually quite good at if I want to pat myself on the back, and that is fully leaning into this, like, just ridiculous. Because when I started this, this was a very come on, like, I still see the campaign description every time I log into Roll20. Wow, that sounds like it's really serious. In a kingdom where magic is outlawed. Like, okay, yeah, I was really trying to be like serious and like, no, I've got a really epic story to tell, and it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be this, and it's gonna be politics and intricate. It's like, nah.
The very second you put Mateus Knock in there, I think that was probably your biggest mistake.
Well, that's like, obviously the fourth wall has been the flimsiest thing in existence for this entire campaign, and I like that. That has always been a part of
The first time I jumped in to watch this show, I saw a moment where they had gone entirely around what you intended and had forced you to just pure improv, and what you improv was silly nonsense, and it was the best. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
like, no offense, but like this serious stuff's kind of boring. That improv, that's golden. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And well, that is something I've learned. If you go back and find like the first few episodes, you can see I've got my notes and like, you realize I have no stats written up for this entire encounter you just had.
No, we realized that a few months ago, I think.
Yeah, when I stopped doing that and started going, what sounds cool, what sounds that, I vaguely know the mechanics. I know balance. I know not to just go, oh hey, it's 20d8. Like, no, just a reasonable amount of damage that is scary enough to make you go, ooh, that hurt. Like, yeah, do that. It's fine. But
and you know what's sort of supposed to happen when an anti-magic field goes on a person made of magic. It's like, oh, well, that's got to be bad.
yeah, it's like, vaguely know what's going on and just go with it. And I am much happier in myself and how I run things now. And this game is this is definitely where it started. The Pokemon game is where it got fucking thrown into the fire and told to figure out how to survive. But this has been a wonderful experience, and that is 100% on all of you. I could sit here and I could go, yes, because I'm so fucking good. Like, no. Because anyone who is running a game master, like, they can be the best game master in the world, but what makes something fun and memorable is the collective effort of everybody involved. Whether all they're doing is showing up and just kind of going, okay, yeah, I want to roll a die, or they're going full into it, writing over 100 pages of backstory and getting so much more out of it than anybody else even put thought into it. It's like, it doesn't, because each person involved adds to the collective whole of the enjoyment for everybody. I don't know what the hell's in Unst and not Unst, Utswa and Greg's backstory, and to a certain extent, I don't, because
Like you want to know.
You don't want to know.
But I can see what Rebecca and Shan are doing, what they're getting out of it, and seeing that someone else is getting something out of the jump, like the starting off point. That is an inspiration. That is a wonderful sensation. That is, oh hey, I gave these people something where they could go off and do something entirely different and explore something and get so much more fun than I could have ever prepared for.
How many games have 2 Hot Springs episodes?
Exactly.
All the bits how you like them.
Speaking of that Goblin Bowling, I know at least 3 games, including this one, had Goblin Bowling because of that. It was. I know at least it was this one, Mimic Nights, and New to the Party. At the very least, there might have been more.
Yeah, and we started it. We won. Best game.
That's all we judge off of.
All right.
So, does anyone have like any other final thing to say? Because I could probably go on for way too long about just how proud I am of all of you and how happy you have made me. But it's gonna get really, really, just emotional.
Since
long
I
and loose
moved,
for
you
all the
guys
trips.
are. There you go. That's probably way better.
Maybe one day we can play again together. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
We could at least do one shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell, pull us around whenever we got that.
Alrighty. So, God, all the
It's gotta happen eventually,
promotional
man.
stuff for Welcome Party. You can find Welcome Party on Twitter at Welcome Party. There's a Discord server down below. Go click that, and you can make lifelong friendships by making each other cry with sad backstory and making comments about all them bits, how you like them. So I highly recommend that. You can find that here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Welcome Party RPG, over on YouTube, YouTube.com/Welcome Party, Patreon, patreon.com/Welcome Party RPG. The podcasts are available on Google, iTunes, and another place, Podbean, all under Welcome Party RPG. And a huge thank you to our sponsors, Tabletop Loot, Devon Room at ruinc.com, and So Nerdware. That's all of that. I have been the Bardic Knock. You can find me on all those platforms as well, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube at the Bardic Knock. That's where I am and what I do. What else is that? No, that's it from me. Shogun, where do I find you on the internet?
You can find me at Shogun117 on Twitter, and you can find me in the Discord down below. That's it. That's just about it. Next week we have the finale, I believe, of Pokemon, and that'll be the last game I'm involved with right now. I gotta start something else up.
Yeah, I know. I'm literally looking on Roll20 right now for the game.
Oh, you good over?
I can't take it.
CJ?
Take it as a sign, a positive sign that I had to fill the void. I couldn't stand even 1 minute of not having something in there to replace it.
It's gonna be hard.
Because since I moved, you guys are like my only friends.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I don't have any friends.
Yeah.
These are my friends. Shan, where do I find you on the internet?
Well, I'm Shannon, Shannologic across all the internet. Check out my Twitter. You'll see everything that's going on from my Etsy shop to the stupid projects that I work on periodically because I have a very low attention span. So, hopefully you'll be seeing some writing coming out of me and Rebecca in the future. And yeah, hopefully you haven't seen the last of me, that's for sure.
I certainly hope not. Cody, you have artists you always love to tell us about. Who are they?
Yes, the artists of Garrett the Dark Horse are Thomas JB on Twitter, who has drawn the very first incarnation of him with his awesome armor and long hair, which is kind of closer to what he looks like at the end, honestly. And also Mikun19 on DeviantArt, who shows his awesome Eldritch Knight level up at this point where he's got the arms coming out of him and all that. So pretty cool stuff. Go check them out.
And Rebecca, you have your DeviantArt, because once again, cannot emphasize enough how amazing the token art that Rebecca drew for us all.
Yeah, I have a DeviantArt. Lundana, LUNDAN.
So yes, that is everything. We are going to go and raid Devil's Luck Gaming.
Yep.
So,
I've got it all set up.
Yep,
Don't do it.
already-
Like 3 more hours. Let's go. Come on.
The last time from Tales from the Kingdom of Five, I can't say until next time. So, good luck and happy adventuring. TJ. Do you
Bye.
Oh, we're out.
Bittersweet.
It just sunk in. This is-
Ah!